Hi, it's Merc and Jem here. Before we get started with the post-trip chat, we are going to do a second Q&A. So if you would like to ask us any questions, just pop them in the comments below or
over on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter.
And we'll answer them for you in a video coming soon. Not sure when though. Hopefully before we go back to Florida.
Yeah, definitely before we go back to Florida.
Okay.
We'll commit to that.
We'll commit to it. We don't commit too much, but we'll commit to that. Anyway, post-trip chat. Go. Hi everybody.
Hello.
We forgot to do our post-trip chat for the last trip, didn't we?
We did. Have we got anything written down to remind us of what we did?
No, so we're just going to do this completely off the cuff, so we'll probably forget half the stuff. So the normal things we do when we do these, we talk about the holiday, the car, the parks we visited, the restaurants.
Yeah.
That everything?
Yeah.
We don't really talk about shops because we're not big shoppers. So there we go. First of all, of course the flights as well. First off, I suppose we start with the flights.
Flights are always fine.
Yeah, always fine. We had some noisy people on the one on the way home, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were sort of creating with staff.
Oh, they were like kind of
frolicking, cavorting,
asking for drinks all the time, all the way through the night. They didn't stop. Yeah,
so we didn't get much sleep on the way home. But you generally find someone who'll give you reason to complain on a night flight on the way home. Well, I do anyway, because I'm miserable.
We were by the galley as well,
yes.
Which is not a place I would choose to sit again, because obviously the staff are in and out the galley quite often for people.
Although it was good, both flights we had 3 seats between the two of us, which was nice.
Did, we had lots of room.
So yeah, the flight on the way there was perfect. The one on the way back, we had some grumbles, but I had nothing major and nothing I'd probably actually go to the extent of complaining about.
No.
The car this year we went with the Ford Mustang, didn't we?
We did.
It was we basically did the holiday as cheap as possible with the one luxury being the Ford Mustang that we decided to get instead of we'd normally get like a mid-size SUV. I think the cost difference was about £150.
It wasn't even that.
Right.
To add the Mustang on was literally £450.
Yeah.
Which is about what we pay anyway.
Well, we pay because when you book, you've probably seen this yourselves, but when you book a package they go, you get a free car, and you go, oh great, free car, but what they don't tell you is the insurance for that car then costs pretty much what it costs to hire a car. So it's not really a free car, it's just a remember to book a car type thing. So for example, on this next trip we haven't taken the free car, we've taken the transport, which is the Magical Express, and we'll be picking a car up from the Disney Dolphin for a few days while we're there. But yeah, the Mustang was great. We purposefully went and picked a bright colour, so we picked the bright yellow one. We very, very nearly got the V8 one, but a fella came over and told us it had been reserved by someone else. I don't think it had. I think he just took one look at me and went, yeah, he's not driving a V8. But I was the one that was going down checking all the tyres, because a couple of tyres on those cars looked like they'd been, shall we say, driven spiritedly. But yeah, the car we had, I think it only had about 5,000 miles on it. It was a 2016 model or 17. It was a new model, and it had some upgrades. So it had the flappy paddle gear shifts. I never used them for the whole trip, but it had the cooled seats, which we did use.
Yeah, the cooled seats are great.
We kind of found about halfway along that driving to the hotel, our bums suddenly became cold. As far as obviously, the concerns we get in a Mustang is if there's 4 of you, you're probably going to struggle because the back seats are very small, borderline useless. You might get away with small children in there, but it probably wouldn't be super comfortable for more than 2 adults for the whole holiday, but for us it was fine. Luggage-wise, we managed to get a large and a medium trip case in the back, but I wouldn't expect to get any more than that, and that came with we had to slam the lid down, didn't we?
We did, yeah, but we got it in.
We did, and you could get the rucksacks down either side. I think if you look on the last trip video that we did, you can see how I loaded it up and that. Driving it was fun. It was very quick compared to what I was driving at the time. As to what I drive now, it was I think 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds. Rear wheel drive. I've never driven a rear wheel drive car before, so that was fun as well.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed driving around in the Mustang.
Big long bonnet. The visibility at the back with the roof up, terrible. You can barely see a thing.
With the roof down, it's amazing,
Yeah, you can see. It's almost like there's nothing behind you when the roof's down.
You just have to watch if you're going a long distance with your roof down. Obviously, you're going to get sunburned.
Yes.
So if we were driving a long way, we tended to leave the roof up. But if we were only going a short distance, we
so if we went up and down International Drive or down to SeaWorld, we had the roofs down or Disney Springs, I think, didn't we? But yeah, it was fun. Definitely would hire a convertible again, just,
It was very comfy.
as a treat. It was, yeah, surprisingly so. There's big alloys on it, but it handled nicely.
Warning, if your husband decides to be spirited coming out of the junction and goes to a puddle, you in the passenger seat, will get wet. Because he went right through a puddle and the water came up over the side and onto my lap.
Yeah, that's one thing to bear in mind if you're driving one. Just be careful. And obviously if you're driving one and it looks like rain, probably best not to have the roof down.
Yeah.
We were lucky, we never got caught out with it.
No, we didn't, no.
So moving on from car, we talked hotel. You went to the Rosen Inn International this time, didn't we?
We've stayed there before.
We have. We stayed there on our first few trips. We booked that one because it was up nearer to the eye. Although I would say it's probably about a 50-50 split as to whether it's any nearer. It's like you just come from a different angle. But because we'd been to Point on the last one, we wanted to see what the restaurants were up the other end a bit more.
We know the other end had been done up a lot and there was a lot of new restaurants at that end.
Yeah, I think in future I would probably personally go Point in the future.
I don't really care.
No, there's both. You can't pick from between them. They're both very, very similar as hotels. I just think the location of Point's a bit better because where Rosen Inn International is, north of Sand Lake, is just massive construction from the next few years. I think certainly Wet and Wild is going to be turned into Universal hotels. Everything between there and down to Sand Lake is either old, closed. Yeah, you've got things like Turtley Kilt's closed. It just looks a little bit.
Panda Express
it looks
closed.
like it needs a tidy up.
The
there now.
ABC liquor store is closed.
But I mean, having said that, if you head south, you're basically going from, from your hotel, you're going straight into all the restaurants as you on our first day.
I preferred the location of International because I thought we had more choice of restaurants in walking distance.
Yeah, shorter walk.
And
the more modern ones as well. So a lot of the stuff at Point has been, it's slightly more, like the old, a few of the old, I say older, they're not really older, but you've got the newer restaurants are opening up by the eye.
In Point neither now, shop wise and stuff. Restaurants around there, I like the restaurants closer to International than closer to Point.
So we haven't really come to a conclusion.
We like both of them.
Yeah, you're going to get a good spot for both of them. I just personally think that it's a little bit tidier on the Point down
closer
Point.
to Perkins at International. So
yeah, that is a good point actually. For me. And the big McDonald's if you like McDonald's.
Yeah, if you like McDonald's, you've got your big McDonald's.
It kind of actually works well because it's a really good landmark, so you know exactly where your hotel is. Because Point's kind of set back a little bit, and I always try to pull into the bus stop.
Orlando, isn't it? So
yeah, true.
So if you walk into it,
rooms were fine. Carpet's a little tired, but
especially after we drink all over them.
Oops.
Now that carpet is blue.
I think that just goes for all the Rosens really. It's just
the
well used,
and the well used, but your bedroom was clean, the maid came in every day, your bathroom was clean, all the hotel staff are very friendly, you've got good security walking around.
A couple of important things, your Wi-Fi is free, your parking is free,
your safe is
you don't have a resort fee, you don't have to pay for safe.
And it's a big safe as well, it's not just
you can get a laptop in the safe, no problem. Or you can certainly get an iPad.
We got, an iPad, big camera, it's a big safe.
Yeah, so but I couldn't fault the Rosen hotels, definitely would stay there again. They're not like high-end fancy hotels, but they're perfect.
We're like, all the shopping that we did, we just chucked on the other bed. Didn't even think, the maid could steal that. No, nothing went missing. Just everything was on the beds, everything we bought just got shoved on the beds, and we had no issues whatsoever.
They're just nice. I kind of picture them. You see a lot of people posting footage of like Pop Century and stuff. They're like that, but not Disney. Ultimately, same layout of room type thing. And
I think every room you see wherever, the basic layout is the same. Also at Rosen, you do get a fridge in your room, you get a microwave in your room, and you get a full ironing board in your room.
And you get a little coffee
as well, little coffee maker. There's ice machines.
Hair dryer.
Yeah, ice machines on every other floor. There's laundry on every other floor. So you get everything that you need there. And to be fair, you're not in your room very often anyway.
You do have a pool, restaurant and bar.
I think it's got 3 pools, hasn't it?
The one we stay in, the Rosen International, it's 2.
2 on Point. It's got 3.
Might have 3. I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, there are pools there. They're basic pools, but you can swim in them.
It's got a snack bar. It's got its own bar.
Yeah, the bar's actually quite good as well. It's not overly expensive.
The gated rule.
Yes, the gated rule. Yeah. In a 4-pint pitch.
Yeah.
Restaurant-wise, this time, blimey, we went to quite a few restaurants.
We did, because we had lots of new ones to try.
We'll just talk highlights. There was a couple where they weren't as good as they have been in the past. So the Buffalo Wild Wings wasn't great.
We went to the new one, and not the one. And I think it was just, we went on a quiet night. It was quite empty. It kind of felt like a canteen because it was so empty and echoey. I think if it had been full, we would have got a better atmosphere.
I think the other one further north of.
And we had a new server who was just not interested. Didn't know why he'd become he left food. He didn't come and ask us for drinks. he only brought half of our order over, and someone else had to bring the rest. So
he looked like it was first night, very shy, very quiet. Whether he's built for serving, for in a restaurant, I don't know. But
the quality of the food was nice, but the service and the atmosphere,
I think as well on that day we'd done we'd done something. We'd had a big meal. I can't remember.
We weren't even hungry.
Was it even somewhere like Discovery Cove or something? I don't know. But we'd had a big meal. Yeah. We were very full. No, it wasn't Discovery Cove. It was a different day. We were very full, and we weren't that hungry, so we probably weren't in the best frame to eat there. We had the one average experience at the Australian one. Outback Steakhouse, but
that was a savour problem and not a food problem.
Food was great, so we just wanted us out of there. I don't know, he just wasn't interested. So we didn't get tipped as well as the other guy, so
No, the first server we had was amazing. Mm-hmm. Friendly, coming over and checking on us all the time.
So the other guy, it was a girl the other time.
Yeah, it was a girl the first time. So,
Yeah.
But the food was amazing on both.
So, can't fault the food. Service was a bit... I've lost my thread.
Kind of not used to having poor service.
No.
That they were like one of the first times you ever had poor service.
But fortunately, it wasn't the standard, so everywhere else was fantastic. So the first night we went to Yard House, fantastic service.
Yeah.
Wanted to talk beer with you, wanted to ask what you liked, wanted to make suggestions. For me, just suggesting any of the beers on the menu was probably a safe bet. The food was really good there.
It was lovely, yeah.
You had
chicken avocado sandwich.
And
I think it was called the California sandwich.
With the roast
we were very, very tired. They were having the conversation how we just arrived and we'd walked from our hotel and how hot it was. We made sure they brought us water over because we didn't want us to get dehydrated.
That was really helpful.
Sample the menu.
Quite a few places did that this year as well.
Yeah, they did.
Not noticed that so much in previous trips, but that was nice. Were other places that were nice? BJ's Brew House was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
Great atmosphere, great service every time you went. The food was really nice. They had specials on every night. It was just fab. Loved it there.
Really good, yeah.
You never felt rushed.
No.
We sat and watched when Happily Ever After premiered. I had it on my phone on the table, and we'd finished all our food, and no one tried to make us move off the table or anything because we were just watching.
And then we just carried on drinking through the menu.
Yeah.
We tried Chewy's.
Yeah, Chewy's.
Chewy's was good. I preferred the Chewy's on the 192, if I'm honest. I felt like the Chewy's on iDrive, I felt rushed.
Yeah, a little bit. The food did come out really, really quickly.
It did. Yeah, I mean, the server was like, blimey, that came out quick.
Yeah, even
it's a blimey.
Blimey,
governor. But it really came out really quick. And
he was a bit pushy, our server.
Yeah.
I ordered a drink, he changed my drink for me.
Yeah.
When I ordered my food as well, he added extra things to it that I hadn't asked for. It did make it better, to be fair. But what if I didn't like it? And I hadn't ordered it. But it did actually enhance the meal. And the margarita was lovely.
Would definitely go to Chewy's again.
Yeah,
that's no problem.
If you like Tex Mex, the quality of the food lovely. It's really cheap, and it does have a fun atmosphere in there as well. It's nice and bright and colourful, and good music playing. And they do all their own t-shirts that are really funny as well.
Taco Cat. We went to Red Robin, didn't we? The burger place, which was a new one for us.
Another night we weren't very hungry.
No, I wasn't expecting too much, but I thought it was fantastic.
I thought the burger was lovely.
Really nice burger.
I kept
really
buying
nice
messy
food.
burgers, messy food with avocado on, and when you put avocado on a sandwich, it just slides. And I just ended up a mess. A tasty mess.
Yes.
But a mess.
It was good.
Has a good selection of beers too.
It did, yeah. Not a huge selection, but nice beers. That's good. Where else did we go?
We went to Outback, we went to BJ's.
Cheesecake Factory. First visit for us, yeah. Unusually, we've been to Florida, 6 times?
Yeah.
I've forgotten now. And we'd never been to the Cheesecake Factory before.
I don't know why we'd never been.
No. Initial impressions were, this place is busy and huge. I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah.
It's too busy. But once we'd gone from the queuing area to where we sat, it was fine.
Yeah, it was
I could not fault it. I was driving that night. They just kept bringing me soft drinks. You had soft drinks.
Yeah, they made sure that you didn't, because you had a refillable one, didn't you? I didn't. I had the raspberry lemonade.
Oh yes.
So yeah, every time his glass got just a little bit left, a new one was whisked.
Yeah, the
massive
food was
portions
fantastic.
of food.
Yeah. Couldn't eat the cheesecake though.
No, we took it home with us.
We did take some home, and I think we ate that while we were drunk, and it was fantastic. bit of a theme for this holiday. We went to quite a few, we had quite a few drinks in bars. So another place we stopped at a couple of times because we went once on a whim and really enjoyed it was Margaritaville.
Oh, I loved Margaritaville. Loved it.
We'd sat at the bar, we just ordered drinks and it was really nice.
Yeah, again, good staff, had a good laugh with you.
And the big
blender
thing
set
and the
off
every couple of every hour or so. Not somewhere that I think we'd previously had a beer in there once. But,
yeah, we've had a beer in there.
But yeah, I'd definitely go back there as well. It was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't really eat.
No.
Oh, we went to the NBC.
Yes,
City Walk.
that was another place that wasn't great.
Yeah, the service was good, but
and
food
beer was nice.
The
food was the food was just average, wasn't it?
We'd asked for, I like my burgers medium, and they came out well done. And you're like, well, why bother asking me how I want it cooked if you're just going to cook it well done anyway?
And my burger had like beef brisket and pulled pork on it or something like that, but you couldn't taste any of it. It was just a big meaty mess. There was no flavours to it. I
wouldn't rush to go back. It wasn't the cheapest place for what you got, and it wasn't the best. Red Robin burgers were better, and they were less than half the price.
We had breakfast.
There was proper chips in Red Robin as well.
Oh, there was, yeah.
Proper chips, not skinny fries.
We had breakfast. Did we go to Denny's?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Yes, of course. You like Denny's.
I love Denny's.
I
like American breakfast. Mark's not a breakfast person.
I've never particularly cared for Denny's. I don't see what the big hoo-ha on it is. The one thing I will say about Denny's that I like is I don't like breakfast meals, so I can order like a chicken
you can order what you want.
Sandwich there and they'll just deliver that as well. We went to Perkins as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a funny tale to Perkins for the wrestling fans. We were sat there eating our breakfast and what's his name?
Jimmy Hart, the
mouth of the South, of course. Why did I forget his? Was emptying a car to go into Hulk Hogan's beach shop.
Massive packs of toilet roll.
So our first introduction to seeing Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South live. Someone who, when I was a kid, was always on WWE with his microphone, and he was like managing the Nasty Boys and stuff like that. And he's there just with a big wad of toilet, like rolls of toilet roll, just taking it to the shop. I was like, should I go and say hello? And I thought,
offered to carry his toilet roll.
Probably should have done, give him a lift, yeah. It was quite funny because he was still dressed like Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, because
you could tell it was him like
I'm
that.
I'm not the most massive wrestling fan, but even I recognised him because he had his jet black hair slicked back and his sharp suit on. And
we did go to the Hogan's Beach shop twice and picked up t-shirts. We still haven't paid for one of them, even though we insisted that we hadn't paid for it and we were happy to pay for it. They said nope, it's fine.
No, it's our fault. So we bought more t-shirts. So.
Yes. So I suppose that's pretty much everything restaurant-wise, isn't it? Did we? Oh, we had Earl Sandwich again. Didn't
we had Earl Sandwich. Yeah.
It was obviously, I think we went back twice because it was that good. Did we eat on Disney Springs? Anywhere else?
No,
I think we just shopped there, didn't we?
Just shopped, yeah.
Oh, we ate in the Port Orleans Riverside food court as because we're planning our next trip. I keep saying obviously. We're planning our next trip. We're getting very close. Double-digit dance day today. We decided we'd go and visit our resort and tried the food court, and it was really nice.
We had flatbread in there, and it was lovely.
And we had beignets at Port Orleans French Quarter, which were fantastic, and we'll be eating more of those. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything food, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Anywhere else on our drive that we went, but I don't think there was. Especially we went for 40 nights, we didn't.
We went to the Game Changer place, which was just
Game Changers.
I wouldn't go back.
It was the only reason. It's right next door to the hotel, and it was absolutely lashing down, so we could just run in there.
Yeah, it just felt a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Tilted Kilt style foods.
Yeah.
It was my food was perfect. You didn't like your pizza, did you?
No,
you thought it was greasy. But we went to Uno.
Oh, we did, yeah. We went to Uno a couple of times. Yeah, we completely forgot about Uno.
I love Uno.
Really good, yeah. And I wanted a brown ale in there that they didn't have, so she recommended I try the Cigar City Maduro brown ale. Turned out to be the best beer of the holiday. So
yeah, they do really good pizza in Uno. They do like a Chicago pie style and a normal flat style pizza. Loads and loads of choice on there. Good kids menu. They do a gluten-free menu. The cocktails are cheap. They do. It caters for everyone, Uno. I think it's a bit of a underrated sort of drop off the radar, even though it's quite a big restaurant. It does takeout and everything there as well. So yeah, Uno, that's another good one that we like.
Highly recommended.
We always try and go to Uno if we stay on our drive. I think that's all the restaurants now.
So, with the restaurants done,
Mm-hmm.
we move on to the parks.
Yeah.
Decisions this year were that we didn't want to do Disney again because we'd done it on the last 2 trips. We wanted a break from Disney and revisit Universal, which we hadn't done other than you doing Halloween Horror Nights. We hadn't done since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So, start with Universal. What did you think?
It's Universal. It's the same.
It is more or less the same.
The only thing that changed for us was Diagon Alley had opened.
The Transformers ride as well.
Oh yeah, the Transformers ride. I knew about Diagon Alley when I'd been there for Halloween Horror Nights. It had been open, but I hadn't gone into it. Just so like where the night bus is and that sort of area.
And I'd not seen any of it other than from vlogs.
But it hadn't. Well, there was the new Jimmy Fallon ride, which don't watch the Jimmy Fallon show. Had no expectation going into it, but really enjoyed it. Thought it was really well done.
Good fun.
Good fun queuing. The ride itself was good fun, even if you didn't know what Jimmy Fallon does. It didn't matter. It doesn't spoil the ride if you don't really know what he does or who he is.
I think both times we went on that, the ride-ups had trouble with people trying to get them to fasten seatbelts.
It was people. The second time it was people who didn't speak English, and they couldn't understand that they needed to fasten the seatbelts.
But it was a really good ride. The Transformers ride, enjoyed it.
Same as the Spider-Man ride.
It's very similar, yeah.
But I prefer the Spider-Man ride.
I like Transformers, so it was nice to ride.
I liked some of the bits of Transformers, like where you're coming out of it and you've got Megatron there, and but I think the Spider-Man ride's just got more story to it. I don't know. It's just the same.
The Transformers ride, much like the film,
we need more
is
roller
just
coasters.
robots.
All these sit on a chair and go around a room is just.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people say that about Universal.
I want a proper ride.
Universal Studios, I was like, I think I'm struggling to put this into words. Having done Disney, I just kind of felt like it just didn't hold my attention as much, and I didn't think I would be like that because I'm not a huge fan of all the Disney property and movies. I watch them when they're on and I enjoy it, but I think Universal lacked the atmosphere, and you couldn't go to a Universal park and just walk around and just see things. Okay, you could do that in Diagon Alley, and I think that was about it.
If you're a big Harry Potter fan, then Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade is going to hold your attention for days and days and days. We're not big Harry Potter fans. I can appreciate the work that's gone into it, and we watched the films before we went, so we knew what we were going to be looking at. But I don't want to watch the shows there because they don't mean anything to us. The shops don't hold anything because I don't want any Harry Potter merchandise.
A lot of the merchandise, even
the
on
Forbidden Journey, is still one of the best rides I've ever been on.
Yeah, the train was good as well.
The technology on that is just fantastic. I enjoyed Gringotts Bank, but it's awfully short, very short. To
the point where we never actually went back on it for that first time. We intended to, we just
because
never
the queue
got
was
to.
always too big for how long the ride was. Same as the new rides at Disney, everyone says that they're really short, so I won't be standing in the queue for however long if we don't get a fast pass.
But I think ultimately, if I went to a Disney park and didn't ride things but just saw the sights and took in the atmosphere, I wouldn't mind so much. If I did that as a Universal park, I'd feel a bit shortchanged because the theming isn't consistent, it isn't great. Some parts of it are tired now, yeah. The Back to the Future car, it needs gutting and redoing. It's
the whole Mummy area looks tired now, and even the bit by the Simpsons area is looking tired.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if I was doing Universal again, I'd look at maybe seeing if I could just get a 2-day ticket, and just do both parks and call it quits, because I didn't feel like I could do a full day in there and keep yourself entertained. I don't know.
No, it was getting to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we were done.
Yeah.
There was nothing to hold. We'd been on every ride we wanted to go on.
So we went.
We did Kong. Really enjoyed Kong.
Yeah, Kong
again,
was
it's
good.
short.
We're merging into Islands of Adventure.
It's Universal altogether, isn't it? Because now with the train between them, it feels like one massive park.
Yeah, and you could. That was what's positive. The park hopping ability of that now because of that train is great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the train. That was good fun. We never really waited long.
No, in the past we always did either Universal or Islands. On this trip, we actually did both every single time we went. We just hopped from ride to ride that we wanted to go on.
When you're thinking about what's coming in the future, Universal is getting more Fast and the Furious. Not really interested. And Disney's getting Star Wars. Massive Star Wars fans. Can't wait for Star Wars Land to open. Can't wait for Toy Story Land to open. Toy Story is one of my favourite Pixar films. Fast and the Furious. I've seen them all. Don't really.
No, big fans.
The ride doesn't. I'd rather have Beetlejuice back than Fast and. I'd rather have Disaster back than Fast and Furious.
So it does sound like we're being quite negative about Universal, but I did enjoy my time though.
Yeah,
I think I would go back in 5 years' time.
I don't think it's somewhere I'd go every year.
No, it's definitely once every 5 years we'd do it.
It's not something that I could do. I'd go back to Halloween Horror Nights every single year without a shadow of a doubt. I love Halloween Horror Nights. I love what they do. I'd love to go to Mardi Gras and see that.
We did see the beech tree, didn't we?
We did see the beech tree,
Before it
got pulled down, yeah. So I would like to go to Mardi Gras, but because it's only the 2 parks, there's nothing new there. It's not somewhere I feel like I need to go every single time that I go.
We're not huge water park fans, so we probably wouldn't be too bothered about Volcano Bay. We did see them start doing some warm-up testing bits on it.
I think I'd go once just to say I've been.
Yeah, but then we still haven't been to the Disney water parks, so we still need to try and get around to doing those on this next trip. I suppose moving away from some of the negatives, I enjoyed the new Hulk ride, the new makeover to Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk
was really good. Smooth the track out a little bit. Still a bit bumpy, but that's fine. That's what I want from that ride. I don't want a smooth experience. It still sounded loud. It still was in face and
bumpy.
Yeah. We managed to get on Dragon Challenge before they shut it, thankfully, because I really wanted to. Well. We did both sides. Gutted that that's gone, because it's one of my favourite coasters, and they will replace it with something family friendly, I'm sure. But I enjoyed a B&M inverted every time.
If they do something like Forbidden Journey, but like with dragons, that might be quite interesting.
But it won't be a B&M inverted coaster. So
no, it won't be a B&M inverted coaster. But
we did the water rides this time.
Something different. I mean, Gringotts is different, and I did enjoy Gringotts. But when you're not a Harry Potter fan, you go on it, you're like, yeah, that's a good ride. That's different. But I prefer Forbidden Journey to Gringotts. Sit in an awfully funny position on Gringotts, and the queue is boring. Oh my god, it's so boring. Just stood in like a cellar for ages, and up and downstairs.
Photos for everything.
Up and downstairs, pose for photos. Do this. At least Forbidden Journey, you've got stuff to look at all the way around the queue. It's interesting that I just can get over how boring Gringotts. When you first walk in, you're like, oh wow, this is amazing. Then you go into the dungeon, you're like, okay, wet walls for 20 minutes. And stairs, lots of stairs.
Yeah, because you got that first bit with the animatronics was cool, but then from there,
it was just
take or leave that.
Yeah, there wasn't anything to look at.
We went on the water rides this time. I managed to drag you on. They're not so much water rides as you literally just get into a bath with water in it and ride around. We both ended up so.
They were fun though.
They were fun.
I can't.
It made me laugh. The water rides. I always end up giggling on them.
My feet were wrecked for the rest of the holiday.
Yes, that was a negative. If you're going to do that, probably worth trying to consider getting some flip flops.
Take some flip flops or something to put on, so you can dry your feet and put your nice.
There's no point wearing waterproofs on that ride because water will find a way.
You just get too wet. Everybody was wet.
It's like
no one escapes.
Water ride rating, Jurassic Park's probably on a wetness rating 3 out of 10. Those two are like 11 out of 10.
If not like 20 out of 10.
We
sat in the wrong place.
Yeah, because we got really wet on the Bilge-Rat Burgess one.
Yeah.
And then we had like a good half an hour at least queue for Ripsaw Falls. So,
and still didn't dry.
Yeah, it still weren't dry and was actually a bit cold in parts because of the aircon.
Because you're so wet.
But
you took a full change of clothes.
Yeah, we did. So I suppose that covers most of Universal, doesn't it? I enjoyed the city walk, going to Margaritaville again. But I prefer Disney Springs.
There's more. I don't know. I think there's more to do with Disney Springs. City Walk always seems really empty. Like there's nobody in it during the daytime.
I think it's a bit more. It's supposed to be a bit more adult, and we've never been at night, like late at night.
Whereas in Disney Springs, there's people everywhere.
But I can't see that I would want to go to a nightclub in Florida.
No.
Not like I wouldn't want to go and do like dueling piano bars. I'm a bit too old for that.
I'm a bit too old for that. You're gonna do craft beer bars?
Yeah, I just like a pint in one of the International Drive beer bars or something. Which we'll probably do in Disney Springs and a couple of the Disney parks. We'll have a beer here and there. Not too many at those prices.
Well, yeah, there is that to hold you back, isn't there?
So other than that, we did SeaWorld and Discovery Cove. So, because you added this on at a later point for our anniversary, Gemma added Discovery Cove and...
You get SeaWorld.
Yep.
Including the price.
14 days of SeaWorld. It was really good, really enjoyed it. Discovery
because
Cove.
Mako is the best roller coaster in Orlando.
Sorry, I was just looking, I thought I saw one of the fish was being awkward then.
There's never a queue for it. We never wait longer than 20 minutes for Mako.
We joined the queue, it had technical trouble, and we still only waited 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Was that this trip or the trip before? But anyway, it doesn't matter, but yeah.
Both, I think that's happened to us.
Yeah, but a really good roller coaster, really fast.
It's the best roller coaster. You just feel like you're going to die the whole way around it. There's nothing holding you in. You're never in your seats. You just fly around this coaster.
It's very secure, don't be scared.
Yeah,
it does hold you in place.
It holds you in place perfectly.
But it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it does.
Which is kind of the fun.
But that's what I like about it. I like the fact that I feel like I'm flying the whole time going around it. It's just amazing.
Shows wise, we watched the Dolphin show.
Yeah, the new Dolphin Days show, because they've changed that up a bit. Gives you a bit more information about the dolphins, the ages, the personalities, the names.
Which is nice,
it goes a bit more over like natural behaviours, why dolphins do things and stuff like that.
It's not as in your face as the old one.
No, it's not like hippy trippy like it used to be. It's much more structured and educational. But still has all the birds flying about and stuff like that. Yeah. Which was good.
Did we do Clyde and Seymour on this trip as well?
No, I don't think we did on this one.
We not?
No.
Okay, can't remember. We did the Orcas. We went to see the...
Because it's going to be changing.
Yeah, the last few times we got to see it, didn't we?
Yeah, so it's going to be changing to similar to the Dolphin show. The whole stadium's going to be changing, and the show is going to be changing to much more educational.
I have to say, with the Orcas, I enjoyed the educational show that they did with the school kids more.
Brilliant, yeah.
That was the best thing, and I also enjoyed, after one of the shows, we went down to the front and we saw them training new behaviour for the new show and interacting with the animals, and you got to see the absolute joy in the faces of the keepers working with their animals, which was
showing all the tools that they use to train them, like the touch poles. So if anyone's seen our video, we did the behind the scenes tour at Busch Gardens where we did the touch things with the tiger. Similar thing, you'd smack a bit in the water and the whale would come to the bit where the water rippled, and it was Nalani doing it. She was a good girl.
So yeah, always enjoy SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Discovery Cove.
Oh, it's like the best place in the world. It's like an escape of your holiday, even though you don't want to escape from your holiday. It's just
different pairs, very
relaxing. The food's nice there. The staff
all
are lovely.
inclusive food and alcohol, apart from the fancier alcohols.
Well, yeah, they do a new drinks package now where you can get different beers and different cocktails. But let's be fair, you don't need to pay any extra for that because you get plenty anyway. The food's always nice, the staff are always nice, the Grand Reef is the best thing. We didn't do a dolphin swim this time, we have done it previously.
Didn't feel like we needed to.
No,
to be honest.
Didn't feel like we needed to.
Really enjoyed that red
to see the wild dolphins this time, didn't we? So we didn't need to see.
We'll move on to that in a bit.
Discovery Cove's dolphins. So yeah, but if anyone's ever thinking or having doubts about Discovery Cove, don't have doubts. It's one of the best days you will have in Orlando.
Great. Really enjoyed it. Perfect surprise.
And we went on our anniversary.
We did. So as far as not big parks, we went off the beaten path a couple of times. Well, 4 times, to my knowledge. We went to Brevard Zoo and Central Florida Zoo.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Brevard Zoo?
I love Brevard Zoo. It's one
really
of my favourites.
I
like just like its layout.
It's a nice, easy to follow layout.
And they've got a really good herpetarium.
That was Central Florida.
Was that Central Florida?
Brevard Zoo. Highlights from this trip were with the jaguar interaction feeding.
That was amazing, yeah.
They were telling you about the jaguar and doing touch training, things like that, and she was just awesome.
All non-catching, so like getting the jaguar to open its mouth and show its belly so that they could check it for medical reasons.
The other thing, we were really lucky to see the alligators doing the water dances.
Yeah.
And I thought someone was doing some like work on bushes, and I could hear this and I thought at first it sounded like someone was using a machine.
Mechanical, didn't it?
Yeah, and then ran over and I could see one of the gators doing it. It was just really guttural. You could feel it in your chest, sort of roaring noises. Central Florida Zoo, the herpetarium, we loved.
The best.
Yeah,
you can spend hours in there.
The fossa was really good there.
Yeah.
The poor leopard. I said poor. She's an old leopard.
She's an old leopard.
So she's sort of
she's there for like
retiring there.
She?
Yeah, but she was very grumpy and
very
it was
beautiful.
kind of fun. She was beautiful.
And the rhinos.
And the rhinos were really good. They've since moved one of those on, haven't they? So maybe they'll be going into a breeding group. We never know. Okay, from Central Florida Zoo, we moved on to De Leon Springs State Park. Quite funny, that one, actually. We headed up that way and we were there about an hour and a half after Crispy Small with her.
Yeah.
It was like just purely by chance. Yeah, I did feel like I was talking to him at one point, but it was really nice.
Very pretty park.
Yeah.
Very pretty park. We had a nice walk around.
We had a hot dog.
We had a hot dog.
Very cheap, but very nice.
It was like $1.50 or something for a hot dog, and it was really nice.
We had a nice walk and
walk around the spring. If you take your swimming stuff, that you can go in the spring.
Yeah, we didn't take any. We should have done.
Well, we were just checking it out.
Yeah, we were.
For future reference.
And
you can hire boats. You can go on boat trips. There's pits to do your own barbecues.
Yeah, it was really nice, wasn't it, to see a little bit more
and
of
it was lots of just local Floridians with the families, and they'd all brought their own food sitting around the spring. It was a really nice place to go.
It was. And then the one other place we went to was we went over to Clearwater.
We did go to
do the Little Toot Dolphin boat trip. Now, there's a few dolphin boat trips that go out there, and the two that get commonly mentioned on places like the Dabe, the Sea Screamer and the Toot. The difference being, Sea Screamer is a huge speedboat that goes really, really fast, but you're higher out of the water, so the dolphins don't get as close.
Really, really, really loud dance music.
We're not that. We're not into that kind of thing. We like the slow.
Don't get me wrong. The Sea Screamer
I'm sure.
Little
awesome.
Toot's really low to the water, so when the
my
dolphins
feet got wet.
are jumping, they're like here.
Yeah, it feels like there's a good chance that if you held your arms out, you could catch one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
We booked it as a last minute thing, and it was superb. So if you do want to see dolphins, we would recommend that as a way of seeing them in the natural habitat.
And you can book online, or you can just rock up and book. I'd suggest you booked online if you're going at peak times. We went out of season, but we did book online.
Yeah, we did. We did. I did it on my phone in the.
Give yourself plenty of time to get there, because traffic can be a problem.
Yeah, it can be. We
got stuck in an accident and we're a bit panicky that we were going to miss our booking.
Yeah, I probably drove a little more spirited in the Mustang on that particular trip. But from doing Little Toot, we then decided to go on a little drive around, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We went to that nice little beach.
We did. What's that place called?
Eagle something beach.
Well, basically, I looked on Florida best quiet beaches, and this came up as number one, and it was like handily about 5 minutes away from where we were, so we called in there. Really should have taken some towels and gone for a little swim.
Down. Well, we went for a paddle.
We did. We always do that though, don't we?
Went for a paddle, looked for some shells, and just enjoyed the view, watched some ospreys flying above us. Loads and loads of locals on the beach.
Yeah. The sea was lovely and warm because it was on the west coast, so it's the Gulf of Mexico. Lovely and warm sea there. And then from there we went over the Sunshine State Bridge.
Where it proceeded to go cloudy and rain, so we couldn't see bugger all.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to driving over it, and it just went. But we did find out that the roof on the car was watertight. So that's good.
Yeah. And then we drove home in a massive storm, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah. We took a wrong turn. We nearly ended up going south towards the Everglades and all that lot.
Wouldn't have minded that.
Yeah, well, it would have taken us down past Anna Maria Island and all that. Again, wouldn't have minded that, but there we go. We managed I think we did about 5 hours of driving on that day, so that was quite an intense day as far as driving's concerned. And I don't think we actually ate until we got back.
Like the hot dog, that was it?
Yes, that wasn't that day though. On that day we drove.
Oh, no.
We had a big breakfast at Perkins, and then we drove out there, did the boat trip, drove back over the Sunshine Sky Bridge or whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. All the way back, and then we went out for tea, and we were both famished.
We went to Hooters because we'd seen the original Hooters.
We even forgot to mention Hooters actually. Yeah?
Oh yeah, we went to Hooters.
Yeah, that was great.
I love Hooters. The chicken wings are just the best. The service is amazing.
To have a chicken wing that's
wrapped in bacon
and then fried.
That's what you had.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, everyone always says, whenever I mention, go to Hooters, like, really? Hooters? Like, yeah, it's a sports bar.
Yeah, it's family friendly.
Family friendly sports bar, it's fine.
It's absolutely not what you think.
No.
Because I know what you're thinking. You dirty person. No, it was good. So I think we've pretty much covered off everything we normally cover off on these chats now, haven't we?
Yeah. Where we went, what we did, and what we ate.
Yeah. So did you have a good trip?
I did, had a really good trip.
Yeah, it was. It was a fantastic trip and really good. It was really good as well to see that although we didn't do a Disney trip, I was expecting our views to not be as, the views for the videos that we did to not be as high, but they exceeded all expectations.
And I was surprised how little I didn't miss Disney.
I missed Disney more than you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the Disney fan.
But there was, we did so much other stuff that, and I knew I had Disney booked again for the year after, so I think that helped for me not missing Disney.
So that leaves us 99 days towards our next trip now, which is a nice time to do your post-trip chat for the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. 99 days to go. It's going so quick.
It is. So between now and then, we will obviously be doing the weekly vlog. Also, do you think maybe we should consider round 2 of Q&A?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a second Q&A if it's popular enough. We'll mention it in one of the weekly vlogs as well, so we can maximise our Q's and A's. Hang on. We can maximise our Q's and then provide many A's.
Yeah.
So if you do have any questions that you'd like to ask us about Florida, about us, about
life in general,
about Lego, about animals, pop them in the comments below. Tweet us, Instagram or Facebook us. All links are provided in the description, and we will endeavour to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you soon, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I need a drink now because my throat is
very dry.
a little on the dry side. So thanks for watching, and thanks for enjoying our 2017 trip, because we certainly did. What?
What's this?
Double digit down. Why are you doing that to my face? That's weird. The camera still sees me as a face, even though I've got your hand. Alright, we'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.